Welcome to the Internet Podcast. Today we are joined by the normal host, Nuckwit and Cyril, and we're starting off with an absolute banger of a topic that is Helldivers 2 and the game Nightingale. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard of both of these games. They are attracting a very large audience on Twitch as well as YouTube and Steam in general. So, Helldivers, if you don't know what it is a game in which you play as a drop soldier. You drop into an alien area where you have to literally take over the planet and kill the local population.
Pretty cool.
Other than that, I haven't actually personally played the game. I just thought it was big game news, and I will be playing it tomorrow. I don't know about you guys. I don't think either of you have played the game either. Have you?
I have not. I've watched videos on it, but I haven't played it. It's really big on PlayStation 2 right now. It's because it's on PlayStation and PC.
And the one thing I did want to also talk about that specific game is we're seeing more server errors per Sony. I don't think it was Sony's fault really, or the game developer's fault in this specific case. Normally I'd blame the company for not expecting it, but this was a relatively indie game. This was not a giant game whatsoever. This game was literally expecting, like, I think, less than 100,000 concurrents, and they opened up day one with 800,000. So their servers crashed. A lot of people are giving them bad reviews because of that. If it was a AAA title, I would say, yeah, fix your servers. But this game has to literally beg Sony to give them more servers because it is an Sony-owned game. And it's literally not the developer's fault whatsoever in this case because of the success of their last game was not nearly the same.
And the first game's actually completely different too. If you've seen it, it's it's like a top-down like scroller, I believe. Very very different from this one. They're very much ambitious with it.
Wait,
Absolutely.
You said people wrote it off because of that?
No, people are mad about it because of that.
No, you said they left like reviews, right?
Yeah, a lot of people are leaving mixed reviews on Steam from what I've seen, which is so messed up.
Those people. Yeah, that's stupid. That's stupid, man. People keep doing that with games that don't even come out. Like the whole Insomniac leak that we talked about like a while ago. People wrote the leaks for the game. Yeah, people wrote that game off, the Wolverine game. I probably shouldn't talk about that it was a Wolverine game, but people wrote that off almost instantly, and it wasn't even finished. So I think that's really stupid.
Normally things like that.
I agree.
I've noticed at least.
But the game itself is very good though. It's very promising.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like anyone who actually does play it really has loved it.
Bro, who put the cocks everywhere?
Me.
I looked at it. I was like, "What the heck?"
Not on
but
this
anyway,
map. That was on the last map.
That's not a. Wait, that's not a cock. That's just a.
Fun little sculpture.
Moving on. Yeah, it's just an art.
yeah.
It's
But
just an
anyways,
art piece.
our next topic, because we actually cannot say too much about Helldivers because we haven't played it, and maybe the mixed reviews are valid. I don't know. If you're sitting in a server for the whole time, I understand it. If you're sitting in a queue forever, but just know that they're gonna fix it. So don't review it poorly yet. Give it a little bit longer for sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not a Splitgate situation. We would hate that to happen. At least I would. Splitgate server issues caused it to not be successful.
I think that like the not updating also caused it to be.
That's part of it for sure. But the main, I mean, at least me personally, I wasn't willing to wait an hour to play a game that I had never even played before, and I think that's what it failed a lot of people in the start because of that.
That's fair.
I'm gonna start working from the bottom actually. Also, we're playing Power Wash Simulator. I didn't even say anything about that. This is a game that's free on Xbox Game Pass, and we just all thought it'd be fun to play. So, but anyways, with that being said, our next take is something about Elon Musk. Obviously, the great Twitter man. First off, I would like to say that recently I have been reading a book that is about Elon Musk that is very interesting because it's revealing a lot of things that I didn't know about the guy. So, first things first, this book is called Elon Musk, and it's by Walter Isaacson. And it's just Walter Isaacson is a guy that is a writer, and a critically acclaimed writer that followed him around for a while and just wanted to tell the story of his life. And the story of Elon Musk's life is that he had a lot of trouble growing up, a lot of trouble, and
I know his
not a lot
dad
of
was not very good, was he? Or
yeah.
his dad was really
His dad was a gambler, was very in and out of money. Has lied about
was borderline
he's
abusive.
he said to a lot of people in the news that he had money, which is a big thing that a lot of people get wrong about Elon Musk. A lot of people think that Elon Musk came from money, but he was an immigrant in South
Yeah,
America
from
or
South America. Yeah,
no,
or
not South
South
America, South
Africa.
Africa, and he recounts specifically talking about like coming to Canada specifically and saying that he was surprised when the windows were not boarded on every single house. It felt alien to him because that the like robbing and stealing was so rampant in South Africa just because of a lot of unrest, I'm sure. Not to
At
comment
the
on the
time,
South American or South African politics because I'm not from there, but there was a lot. There's been a lot going on there for him. So, anyways, with that being said, he's making a search engine similar to Google, where it's called Unwoke is what it's called. So what one would think is that it is a very right-leaning search engine just from that right there, Unwoke. Um, Elon Musk has also publicly said that he's an independent rather than a Republican. I don't know what his actual beliefs are. I don't follow much when it comes to parties and what the parties believe as much as I probably should. But yeah, he's making a search engine because he said that there's a lot of censorship on Google. And to be fair, there probably is. But also, you know, when I see boobies on Twitter all the time, it doesn't make me very happy either. And that's only
That's all
happened
you
since
see.
him. I mean, there's
I
a
mean,
lot of accounts that post a lot of stuff like that. There's a reason why I have a no Twitter on stream policy. It's
that's
because
valid.
it's just like you can
Put
very
his kind of
much
words
so
with that.
find stuff
no,
like that commonly,
I'm
even
just
before
saying,
Elon
man.
Musk. But
I don't think Google censors all too much as people make it out. You know,
Oh, it's just there's
I
more.
you find some
And
yeah,
crazy
YouTube
things.
would be
no,
harder to
that's what I'm
find. Yeah, but
saying.
it's harder to find.
But I'm
I mean,
just
all
saying that
everything's free.
censorship in general, there's a lot of censorship in a lot of things, and so
It's almost
he's making
ironic.
this thing to combat that. And I don't know if you agree with it or not, but I think it was important to at least mention,
What
since you know.
what's it? Has he said like what exactly it's uncensoring?
Oh,
What did
there's
he
a lot of
mean?
stuff. He's talking about a lot of political censoring and
Oh,
biased in Google
oh,
and stuff like
Yeah,
that. You'd have to look into it yourself to see everything because I don't want to speak for him. But with that being
it is
said, I do know
true
some of
though. It is true
I
though that
mean,
Google and other companies give biased answers. So I don't know if
I
his
don't.
search engine is meant to give a completely unbiased answer, or if it'll give a different type of biased answer than the
Well,
current landscape in Google and other search engines does. But I think like either way, if that's what you're looking for, an unbiased one, there's already search engines like that, like DuckDuckGo, or
yeah.
all sorts of stuff. If that's what you're looking for.
My personal opinion on everything is that it's impossible to be unbiased. When you are creating things, it's so hard to be unbiased just because of how things work, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're going to have a bias towards something. That's just the facts.
No, of course. There's always a little bit there. I think it's just the goal is to minimize it, and I don't know if he'll be successful in that. I don't. I think a lot of people really like. I want to say suck up to Elon Musk because like I think he's like has valid opinions and stuff, and like obviously he's the richest man on earth, so it's worth listening to what he has to say. But I don't know if it'll be more unbiased or if it'll be more of hearing what the people who like suck up to him want to hear in that sense. And I could see it being either of those things. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see until it comes out. I saw him posting earlier about like calling the other AI woke and that he's gonna come out with like his like AI is not gonna be woke, it's gonna be unbiased. So because there was like stuff like and he gave some pretty good examples in his case, but it was like Chat GPT giving like clearly biased
Yeah.
answers. So he said, um, his was never going to be like that, and all sorts of stuff like that. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see how it
Yeah,
turns
well,
out.
we really will have to wait and see. And
I like
I
that
encourage
idea.
everyone to look into it themselves always. I mean, I am
mean-
gonna have a different opinion on things, and
The-
everybody, even the 3 podcast hosts should look into it themselves
The
before even.
I
Oh
actually
yeah.
like I did a few like in high school I worked for like a few like different like news things, and what we always did, what we basically, the whole consensus was bias was okay as long as you reported all the facts. But I think what a
Mhm.
lot of what he's talking about specifically is that, and this is, I mean, everyone knows this, is a lot of like a lot of the big news companies especially will
hmm
like choose to leave details out or
Oh
over
yeah.
exaggerate details. Like it's crazy how the stuff they get away with, bro.
It's on purpose. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I would say it's you. One could even say journalism's ruined. Like it's a dying art in that sense.
Yeah.
In a certain way,
I don't think
yeah,
it's
absolutely.
dying. I think it's just very corrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
No,
like
I get what you're saying.
yeah.
I get what you're saying. That's what I try to do. I mean, ultimately, that's what I'm trying to do with my channel, even in the commentary videos that I'm doing. I try to stay as I don't know, what was I gonna say? Forward as possible with my bias, I guess, because I definitely have bias. I mean, obviously, I have bias, and so I state I'm a streamer, etc. Stuff like that. Certain things are gonna impact me differently than everybody else, which I try to do well. Hopefully, I do well. Hopefully, everybody doesn't think that I'm being terrible by doing it. But our next topic that I want to talk about, because these first 2 topics have been actually huge. We actually sat on those for quite a bit. But with that being said, there's so I made a whole video about this as well. But I think that more stuff has come out, so it's worth coming and talking about on the podcast as well. So KSI has scammed his audience, but on accident.
He
And
claimed.
yeah, that's the claim. But I would believe the claim because he does talk about things that he's been offered before, and there's no way he's bigger than Logan Paul, and he has, at least in the UK, I would argue that he's bigger than Logan Paul because of his UK audience specifically. I mean, clearly KSI was able to revive Logan Paul's career at one point
He's-
entirely.
He's also been around for a long time, like way longer
True.
than Logan Paul. Yeah.
And he's been offered a lot of ways, a lot of times to scam people blatantly, and he's turned them down and exposed them instead. So I would imagine that he's not trying to scam anyone. At least his reasoning behind it was extremely. I would say when I watched the CoffeeZilla video of talking about the scam that he did, which is basically he said that he was going to hold a crypto, and then he didn't hold
He sold
all
like
of
the
his
next
stuff.
day or something, or like a week
Well,
later.
but the honest truth is that he sold some, not all, of what he owns. And he still currently owns a lot of what he originally bought, which would lead you to believe that for whatever reason, somebody advised him to sell after that, and he decided to sell. Some of it, at least.
See, the thing about that is though, is that every influencer knows that if they mention a coin like that, it always goes up, and that's been shown time and time again. Unless he just had absolutely no knowledge of that, which I wouldn't see to be true, given that he's been in the crypto landscape, I guess, for like 2 years, and he's claimed on multiple tweets to know a lot more now than he did before. And we've seen this with Elon Musk and Dogecoin and all sorts of stuff, like, and especially with smaller coins. Logan Paul did it. Everyone does. Like everyone with a big following who has little to no morals does it. They tweet or mention it, and it makes it go up because that's just how it works. People hear an influencer say it, they want to invest. That influencer sells, and to them it becomes the perfect pump and dump where they've quadrupled the money they put in.
Mm-hmm.
And for the people who invested it, well, it goes down a bunch because
Well, they're left with the bag. They're left with
yeah.
That's how they're
they're left with
profiting.
trash.
They're
The-
left with
well-
trash, and they're left with nothing. They have nothing.
Yeah, I mean it's more or less taking money from your following with a quote unquote more moral basis around it. That makes you look less bad. But luckily now, people are starting to realize, and it looks more bad. But that's my take on it. I think he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying for sure. He may have, honestly. I think that, like I said in my video, you can enjoy his craft. You can enjoy watching him without being following his investment advice. And I would honestly say, if you are watching a creator and you are listening to their investing advice, I would urge you to not do that ever again. Because why are you doing that? They are not financial advice people. You're not supposed to take their financial advice. Go talk to somebody that you know personally that's going to have your best interest at heart. You cannot have the best interest of hundreds of thousands of people to millions of people at heart. Like, you just can't. It's going to be impossible. And with me, like, I am a small creator, so I can watch these things for now at least and say I can have most of my like almost all of my fans' best interest at heart right now. But for the most part, I mean, I can't say, I'm not going to be able to say that forever at all. So even for me, don't even fully trust me is what I'm telling you. Like, fact check everything I say. Like, do your own research.
Just believe it.
Yeah,
more or less.
Don't believe what I say. Well, do believe what I say, but like fact check what I say, is what I'm trying to say.
And that goes for anyone. I mean, not just you.
Absolutely.
That goes for
Especially Nuckwit.
Don't listen. Don't form.
Hey,
Don't form your opinion based on what someone else told you to think. Form your opinion based on your own independent research. And I want to
Absolutely.
yeah.
highlight independent. I
Unless
wouldn't
it's me.
consider.
Yeah. So look it up on like Unwoke. What you're saying?
Yeah.
Assuming Unwoke turns out to be what it hopes to be, or what most people would hope it to be, then sure. But
Yeah. And if you can't even trust that site, I'm always a credible source. I know everything. I know more than everyone here. I'm cooler than everyone here. Back in Vietnam, wait, I wasn't alive then. Back in 06, I freaking you know what I did? I can't tell you publicly just because of how cool it was. They made me sign an NDA just because
it must
of
be
how
it has to be really cool to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's a true thing. I've heard that somewhere. Fact check that, by the way, guys. Fact check that.
Yeah, everyone fact check that.
No.
Everyone needs to
if
fact
it comes
check
from
that
me,
right
you
now.
don't have to fact check it.
You
it's
still have to
credible.
fact check it, especially when it's not quit. Anyways, let's talk about our next
Yeah.
update. Our next update, okay, guys. Our next update is we're gonna be talking about some cool things that we're excited for, but that we're also thinking that it should have happened a long time ago, and I'm really annoyed that it didn't happen. Invincible's finally releasing. Freaking screw Invincible, dude. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of waiting on Invincible. I'm tired of it. I think it was just it's just really okay. So this is the thing. Here's how I feel. Invincible did make it seem, or at least on the internet, made it seem like this break that they were taking was a very short break, but it in fact was not.
You're right.
And so I think, in my personal opinion, if they would have just said, hey, we're coming back March 14th, or we think we're going to be around March, I would have been like, oh, okay, awesome. I know when I'm going to get it. But in my personal opinion, because Invincible decided to delay, make us feel like we're going to get it in January, then make us wait until February for an announcement. And keep in mind, it's also mid to late February right now. And this is when we've gotten the announcement that it's coming out in March.
Oh, I think they said it was going to be March a while ago, actually. I feel like I heard that a while ago.
More specific date, though.
Oh, okay.
Being the 14th.
I heard someone say something about it being March 14th, 15th, something like that a while ago.
Maybe I was wrong about at least that announcement, but I feel like initially, for sure, they should have been more upfront about it. 100%.
Yeah, especially after the wait for season 2 in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, I love the show. I'm not going to not watch the show because they made me wait longer. But I do think it's a little bit not nice to make people wait that long, plus not tell them how long the wait was going to be initially and make it even seem like it's not going to be that long.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
With that being said, we're excited to watch Invincible. Hopefully you're excited to watch Invincible. We're going to talk about Invincible when it comes out. And that I think takes us to our next topic, unless Nuck had
Wait,
something to say.
Amazon also the release date for the next season of The Boys is in
Oh,
June.
we should
Yeah.
definitely talk about yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of evil Superman shows coming out this year. Well, okay, I don't think Omni-Man's evil right now. Spoiler alert. Oh, I, let's go on to the next topic. Let's go on to the next topic. I'm a
All right.
credible source, so you don't have to fact check that. So consider yourself spoiled, nerd.
No, we have to fact check everything. We fact check Nuck more than anyone else.
True, Nuck's a pathological liar.
That's true. He
Hey,
actually
one
is.
day, no one will have to fact check anything I say. I will just be that cool. I can
I
dream.
don't think it's about cool. Anyways,
Well,
with that being
I'm
said, we're
cool.
going to talk about our next topic, which is going to be Aidin Ross nearly dying on stream. So if you don't know what happened recently, Aidin Ross, the smartest man on the planet, obviously.
Of course.
He had a stream idea, which admittedly I think was very cool, actually, of shooting a Cybertruck to see if it's really bulletproof, which I think was
Yeah.
actually a fire idea, but the execution of it was so poor, absolutely so poor, that his foot almost got blown off, and if things would have went wrong, he could have died. So you guys probably know, you're not allowed to shoot a firearm within city limits. You're also not allowed to mishandle a firearm. So if you, let's say, shoot a firearm at your friend, you get charged with a very large crime. Even if the friend doesn't want you charged, you're still using the firearm incorrectly according to the law, and you're not allowed to do that for obvious reasons, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And on Aidin Ross's stream, he had a supposed ex-Marine, is what he was. Which I don't know how intelligent most Marines are, but I've heard stories, and normally they are not intelligent, unfortunately.
I wouldn't base all Marines on this, but yeah.
I wouldn't say that all Marines are stupid. Absolutely not. But I do hear a lot of stories. Marines a lot of times get picked on for being the stupidest branch, specifically, is what I've heard, okay? Not to say that they are, not to say that that's a fact. If Nuck said it was a fact, but me saying it is not a fact.
I don't think it's a fact. I don't think we should call Marines stupid, given how most of them are volunteering to protect us.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. I am saying though that is the stereotype, is that they are stupid.
Brody eating
Which
his words right now.
and in this, okay, we need to revive this. Marines aren't stupid, but there's a stereotype around them being stupid, and I don't think that. I think that Marines are very intelligent individuals. And the Marines I know are very respectful young men and women, and thank you for serving.
They don't have to be.
Never forget. Anyways, though, this Marine,
That
the
being said,
so-called
this
retired
guy's-
Marine, we don't actually know that that's a fact at all, if he's a retired Marine or not. But he
Yeah.
discharges a firearm right next to Aidin Ross's foot, purposefully. You can watch the video 100 times. He did it purposefully. I'm not going to show the video because obviously guns bad on YouTube. This whole podcast is going to be a long video, and I don't want to get demonetized. But
Yeah.
he discharges a firearm, which very easily could have gone wrong. He could have shot his foot. He also could have had some recoil hit, and he could have shot the guy in the chest. I mean, it was pointed towards the ground, and the chances of that happening are low, but they're never zero. This guy should very much so get his firearms taken away from him. Will he in reality? Probably not, because a lot of stuff like
no.
that does not
Uh,
get looked at. But he could have killed Aidin Ross.
People,
And
people
that's actually
deepfake
not
that
even
stuff.
Aidin Ross's fault, in my opinion. I mean, like, it's not his fault that he hired some dude that's going to shoot a gun at his foot. I mean,
Yeah, no, that's weird.
it's definitely not
That's not
Aidin
his
Ross's fault, and I want to emphasize Aidin Ross didn't necessarily do something inherent. He didn't mean to do something wrong by doing this.
I think Aiden Ross is. Yeah, I think he has good intentions. So I don't think he.
Yeah, for the most part, he has good intentions. When I've seen him on podcast, he talks about normally good things, not actually negative things, and I think he can be misled by certain people. But anyways, off of the Aidin Ross, he could have gotten hurt severely.
Well, I was gonna say there was actually another side topic, and Critical brought this up in his video. People were saying they could have been using blanks, and I thought that was a stupid argument given how blanks, if in the right circumstance, with the right you know, uh, in the right position. I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say, but blanks could also very much kill someone. I know that's a common misconception, is that they don't,
Well, they
but
killed
they do.
Bruce
They
Lee's
killed
son.
yeah, that's actually what Critical mentioned in his video, and that's what I was thinking about when I was looking, like, reading about this or watching videos
Hmm.
about this. I thought that whole thing was stupid. Um, but yeah, that's I think that guy would get in trouble. That people do,
Hopefully he
they
does.
take that stuff very. If he is like a military, they do take that stuff very seriously, and he could, if he is not already, could, like, he could
Lose his
lose
job
his,
as well.
yeah. He can
Which
get
I
in a
don't.
lot of trouble.
I'm not gonna say people should be out here losing jobs and all that, because obviously I don't want something that's on the internet to make people lose their jobs. But this guy in
To ruin their life.
specific would deserve to lose his job because he put somebody else's life on the line for a stupid joke that wasn't even funny. It was a 5-second bit on Aidin Ross's stream, and he's not getting anything positive out of this. He's just getting negative, and he's just looking. It's making Aidin Ross look like an idiot, really.
But well, I don't think this makes Aiden Ross an idiot in the slightest. I mean, yeah,
A
how is he
lot of
supposed to
people
know?
see it though as him being an
I
idiot
I
and
think
shooting at a
he just
cyber truck and stuff like that. You know.
I think he does some, questionable things, especially when he was on, like, he was on drugs for a while. He was
Hmm.
doing lean all the time. I think he did a lot of dumb stuff, especially around that time. But I think I don't think he's the dumbest individual.
Yeah, me
You know.
neither. I think that he there's a lot of people worse that have a platform ultimately.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
and with that being said, I want to go ahead and hop off this topic because I
Yeah.
feel like we've said most
Move
of
on.
what can be said, and
Oh yeah. Not much.
talk
Not much
about
else.
the final little topic, or talk about a subtopic, and then the final topic, which is I mean, Nuckwit struggled with this before the podcast, and you guys will be able to see it in the unlisted if you're a member. But Nuckwit literally was not able to get on today because certain parts of the the AT&T Verizon outage today. I don't know if it was directly linked fully, but at least for me today, my service, if I needed to call 911, I was not calling 911, which is one thing that I thought was very interesting about this specific thing that happened today, was that I could not contact anyone this morning. My cellular data was out. My phone signal was out, and if something did happen emergency wise, I was done. A lot of people are pointing to other governments for this. A lot of people are pointing to our own government's infrastructure. But ultimately, I think what we need to do is just focus on a solution to this problem, because this is not okay. I'm sure that for some people, this actually went very wrong for them, and it could
Do we know the
have.
reason why yet?
There's no public reason yet. Maybe when it
Satellite one or
uploads,
something?
I can comment in the premiere. But yeah, I don't know for now.
I mean, things crash.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately
Yeah,
things
it's a
do
pretty big
crash.
deal
It
though.
doesn't have to be something that's like China's coming after the United States and our infrastructure.
No.
And
Because
it
I'm
probably
not.
isn't.
It could be. I mean, I'm not going to say that I know that it isn't, but I'm not going to also spread misinformation and say that it is, because I don't know.
Right. You're just
Um,
scared for no reason.
but anyways, with that being said, I think our final topic, and the one last thing I want to talk about, is the in specific, a big leak that hit today, or in the last couple of days. Obviously, we talked about the Drake leak, so we have to talk about her leak too. Bobby Altov, the podcaster, had a supposed leak hit the internet of her. I didn't see it, but it was her doing some things that you don't want on the internet. And she came out, and I did see her video where she comes out and says, "That's not me. I don't know what that is. That's AI." And I don't know. It could also be that it's not AI, and she's just saying that to cover. But I think if she wanted her leaks out there, she'd make sure they were out there. And if she wanted them contained, she'd make sure they're contained. she's very methodical about the character that she plays online. So I don't think it's a good look for her character. So she would not, under any circumstance, let that get out. I watch her podcast. I'm an enjoyer of the Bobby Alta, the Good podcast. But yeah, with that being said, AI efficacy of deep faking people, I think everyone can kind of agree. You should not deep fake something sexual onto someone. That is so messed up. And if this is an AI deep fake, that's so messed up. And I hope that the person that did it gets serious fine or jail time, because that's so messed up. That's taking something that's meant to be private and her not doing anything wrong, not sending it to anyone, not doing anything, but still getting leaked, which is
Right.
ridiculous, and it's hurtful to everyone. It doesn't help anyone. And some people would say, "Oh, well, that's just making it to where people aren't as interested actually." And it's like, no, it's not. It's just engaging in something that's already terrible. So, if you're AI deep faking people, you're messed up in the brain, is how I feel. Especially in
Yeah,
situations
it's pretty
like that.
screwed up.
You can AI deepfake it for fun occasionally. Like if you're gonna AI deepfake yourself singing a Tom Cruise song, or like with singing as Tom Cruise, I don't think it's like, I don't think that that's unethical per se. But if you are making them say bad things, making them do bad
And
things, it's
spreading
extremely
misinformation.
unethical, and not disclosing that it is AI. It's a deep
Yeah,
fake. They
like
horribly edited on there. Okay, so Zan in the chat said that she has seen it, and it is a deep fake. So,
oh, okay.
with that being said, I guess we can know for sure. You're a terrible person that did that, though. Whoever did that, I hope you seriously get punished for
I'm not
that.
gonna watch
Yeah,
that
there's
video
the
though.
Extremely
same
messed
thing
up.
happened to Taylor Swift.
Yep, and I heard about that too. And that's a more high-profile person than Bobby Altov. But
Yeah. So
it's just so messed up. That is extremely messed up. You should not do that. Cheese said he also
yeah,
has seen it, and it's a deep fake.
it highlights it will really just happening highlights a worsening situation as AI develops more and more.
Mm-hmm.
Very scary in general. I feel
Extremely.
like I don't know. We really don't know where it'll go from here. We were talking about Sora last week, I believe it was the Sora AI,
Yep.
and yeah, I've seen only more and more. It hasn't officially launched, I guess, yet. It's only to some people,
Yeah,
but
I mentioned that last week. It's specifically, they're like testing it to a certain audience. It's almost like a beta.
Mhm.
But
Right.
even though it's not a beta, they're just testing it with certain people only.
Yeah, and it's very scary.
It's
Like
extremely
not
scary.
scary in like I don't know. It makes you worry for what's to come.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
That
So
that's the animation one, right?
Yep.
yeah, the video, minute
Well,
long video with a
it could
prompt.
just kill a lot of content creation
Yeah.
and a lot of animation, which I would not want to see. I mean, animation is a great art form. Realistically, I mean, like, I'm sure Knuckwood has his opinions on that too. I mean, being someone who wanted to do animation.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah. I don't know. I don't really want to talk about the topic because it kind of pisses me off. But
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's a totally valid opinion to have, and I think that's how a lot of people feel about this.
I I do want to say I have seen some of that. I do think they're onto something, and I'm not saying it's never gonna take over. There's a high probability that someday it will. I'm saying not anytime. You're not gonna be seeing it in any like big budget
Oh, I doubt.
production
Yeah, I think
anytime
you're right
soon.
in that part.
The the
I don't
stuff.
think it'll be any big budget.
Yeah, no. The stuff I've seen so far is
Small
like the kind
creators,
of
though, for
stuff.
sure, are just
Oh yeah,
wiped.
no, it's gonna be. I don't think they're
Sucks.
gonna be wiped. I think it's gonna be very hard. This is gonna make it very very hard to build an audience through like animation in specific, which that is sucks. That is really bad. Um, honestly, I don't think they. I don't. I think this is a whole. This is a big mistake. The only use I see for using it is for like
To take
to
jobs.
save time to take jobs.
Literally.
The positive use with where this doesn't impact anyone negatively, the way I see them using it is to pass time, or not pass time. Like
To save time.
to
Yeah.
save time on like things that don't really necessarily need that much attention. Like I've been there. I've worked on animation stuff before. There have been details that I don't really want to worry about that you sort of have to spend hours,
Minor
like
stuff.
almost days, worrying about. Like I know people who go through that. I've gone through it like a few times, but I have no room to talk because I haven't made anything official. Um, but yeah, that's kind of what I see it for. But the stuff I've seen being accomplished so far is kind of like the really basic, easy to use, like easy to make stuff that you can find, like you can do yourself with like the help of any YouTube tutorial. So that's really what I've seen of it. So I don't think it's anytime soon, but I do think it's
It'll
coming.
probably be in the next 2-3 years.
That's
Seeing as
when
how
probably,
fast
yeah.
it's graduated from the Will Smith. Ah ha ha! You know what I'm
It's pretty
talking about
funny.
um with the spaghetti,
Yeah.
which
You know what's
was
you know
funny when
what's
it came out. Now it's not as funny anymore because of this certain stuff. But yeah.
Hey, you know what's really cool about the animation thing though is that if it ends up being used in like a positive way, I kind of seeing it taking in like the role that motion capture, right?
Mhm.
I that's kind of like what I hope it ends up like being used for, because motion capture is like some effects you can't achieve without using it. Like the perfect example is Thanos from the Avengers movies. He was all motion capture. That's how they brought him to life. If if they can somehow like figure out how to use AI in a way like to help with like that sort of
Yeah,
animation
to
stuff.
make
I'm not
that
saying motion capture
cheaper for
specifically.
like
Yeah,
normal people.
yeah.
Absolutely, dude.
Like make it more accessible. If it makes it more accessible, that would be really beneficial. Because there's a lot of animation programs are very expensive. I think like Blender and Source Filmmaker are the only free ones. I think there's a few others, but those are the ones I use.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
found out recently you can do like very minor animations in like After Effects and Premiere Pro. I didn't know
Mhm.
that. So
Yeah, I've done super minor animations in After Effects when I was in high school, which is it's hard though. It's a really hard platform to use, but
After Effects is surprisingly really
robust.
difficult
Yeah,
for
it was
yeah.
robust and difficult as well. But yeah, with that being said, I think that's a good time to end the podcast. There's a lot of hope in the world, but there's a lot of information, bad stuff out there too. So stay informed, and I will see you B Dubs later.